Hey, I am about to watch the Alberta Independence Rally and show how to critically think when you are listening to someone. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Ashley. I was a teacher in China for 10 years. I taught the BC curriculum, and then I helped that school system become an international school system. And now I've come back to Canada, and I just have the craziest culture shock because I thought we were over here working on truth and reconciliation, and it turns out we're over here like fighting the UCP and fighting Alberta independent separatist people and fighting Trump, which is crazy to me because I don't understand how we didn't advance in the last decade. It's like we're falling behind and I don't understand why. So, what I've decided to do is literally share everything about my culture shock, all my information, all my education, all my knowledge, everything I do to just like stay sane in the crazy world. So that's reading, writing, analyzing media, all that jazz. And so I'm just sharing that with you too. Okay, so let's watch this together.
Never mind. Have it should be on. Oh, hang on. Which one's on?
Oh, and sorry, I should have said this is the Mitch Sylvester one. So you can just like Google Alberta Independence Rally, Mitch Sylvester, and it'll pop up on YouTube.
Oh, here we go. Evan Chipiak, ladies and gentlemen.
So just a little FYI, before I started recording, I paid attention to the fact there's about 3,000 subscribers and 7,000 viewers on this video, which doesn't sound like a lot, but remember that like bad news travels fast, people feed off of this kind of energy, so like it's being spoken about way more than just like 10,000 people, let's say, right? I also want to give them credit for that ASL interpreter over there. That was actually pretty modern and progressive of them. So always give credit where credit is due because that's the best way to go. So let's see what they got.
Now for the man of the hour. Man who's going to get us to an independent republic. Mitch Sylvester speaks on the missed justices, federal government, current events, and our plan for our current referendum petition. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together and welcome Mitch Sylvester to the stage.
So they got a plan for the petition. What about the rest?
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. No, I don't need the mic. Good. Hello, everybody. Thank you very much. I've never taken a selfie, but I'm going to take a picture with all of you right now.
That's that community building right there, that emotional, we are in this together, right? We're already building it right from the beginning.
Thank you. Let's talk politics. How many of you is the first political meeting? Hands up. Oh, there's a lot of veterans in the room.
Did you see how many hands went up? That's a lot of hands. That means there's a lot of people who don't really know politics or how politics work. Because if this is their first political meeting, I mean, they don't look like 18 and 19-year-olds over there. So, okay, let's keep going.
Do you agree that the province of Alberta shall cease to be a part of Canada to become an independent state? No.
So clearly the people in this room already agree, right? Like it's not really informational at this point. Everybody's already on board. So it's interesting that they would air this or that they want to make sure we know the applause is there, you know?
I want to clarify that, just in case there's a question out there.
Oh, just in case you didn't know, it costs like $1,000 to go to this convention, right? So like those of us watching it on YouTube think there's a huge grand crowd that's going wild and crazy. Anyways, remember, critically thinking all the time.
That question is directly out of the Clarity Act. The word state does not mean 51st state. So just understand, we spent a month in court on the last question. So this one we took exactly out of the Clarity Act. It's in the Canadian Constitution. So that is what it is. It means that we will become an independent country on our own. But just to be clear, I get asked that every night, and away we go.
So I just want to say, to be clear, that what I heard in that was we've been busted for the kind of language we've used before. So now we're going to try again in another way until we get our own way, because we're learning the system and we're going to learn to get above it.
Get my clicker out of my pocket here. Okay, we desire.
Positive note, however, not 51st state. So at least we're not becoming the USA, right?
And every Canadian desires that the great trade of the prairies shall go to enrich our people in the East, to build up factories in the workshops of Eastern Canada, and contribute in every way to its prosperity.
How are these people already booing at this? You've already heard this quote? You already know it? I thought this was like informational. How come you guys already know it? Interesting. I just am pointing that out because the booing in the audience when you watch a video, that influences how you feel, right? So you watch this and you go, oh yeah, no, I'm supposed to be mad at this, right? No, you're supposed to critically think. Why are these people booing? What does it say? What are they booing? Where are they getting at? So you're gonna see where they're getting at, obviously.
So how about this? We desire, every Albertan desires, that the great trade of Alberta shall go to enrich our own people, our kids, our grandkids, to build up factories and the workshops of Alberta and contribute in every way to our prosperity.
Because Albertans are not prosperous enough? The people who paid $1,000 to get into this room are not prosperous enough? Who has $1,000 to throw around? Nobody has $1,000 to throw around just to go to a convention to get spoken to. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Is this a little hypocritical? Like, I don't think you're suffering over here, the people in this room. Anyways, let's keep going. He's kind of banding people together like as if they are duped or losing out, right? But I mean, again, $1,000 to get in? I don't think you're that hard off, bros.
We're in a business arrangement. This is what the people in the East think about us. Through the West, we'll take the rest.
We're in a business arrangement? Says who? Why are you running our country like a business? Why can't we be humans first? I mean, as a teacher in education, I know that business and like social stuff, society, doesn't mix and match, right? Because business goals are making money. Social things is like society, right? So like we want to be humane, don't we? We don't want to be a business. I'm a human before I'm a business. I'm a human before I'm a teacher. You know what I mean? Like, and this shit from the 1980s, like we know better now. Are we still saying screw the West, we'll take the rest? No, this is so old. However, sorry, let's keep going.
That has been the way it has been for 120 years. We want to know what's going on. If
It's been like this for 120 years. Like, are we being a little hyperbolic here? Like, there's been no change ever. Nobody's listening. Nothing's evolved. Come on. Such grand generalizations to get people angry, you know?
you were in a business arrangement with a group of people that didn't respect you and continue to abuse you, would you stay in that business arrangement? Confederation is working exactly the way it's designed to work. Understand this. Western Canada.
I don't think we can deny Confederation and, maybe some bad ulterior motives. I will give him that. But the diction that he uses to discuss basically our leaders is gross, right? Like, our leaders are not disrespecting separatists, they're not abusing separatists or Albertans or like how many Albertans actually feel abused or disrespected? Like, I don't think that's true, right? So he's riling the crowd, the ones who feel like they should have their voice be the say. Because again, why are you fighting for the same thing you were already told no about? You were told we don't do that here, and now you're trying to rile people up and say, oh, they don't respect us and they abuse us simply because they didn't agree with you. You have to agree to disagree sometimes, you know? Anyways, let's keep going.
Canada has a population of 11.7 million people. We have 24 senators. Atlantic Canada has a population of 2.4 million and has 30 senators. But it gets worse. Alberta has a population of 4.4 million people, and we have 6 senators. With twice as many people as Atlantic Canada, and they have 30 senators.
Okay, so when I look at it like this, sure, that makes sense. But remember, this is only a one-sided story. So what we would do is we would go research and go find out if that population is right, if the senators are right, if all these numbers are correct. Okay.
How could we possibly get a decision go our way? And
How can we possibly get a decision to go our way? Is that the motive? Is that the only purpose that this is happening? You must have your way, regardless of what the majority of your country wants? That's pretty entitled. It's pretty selfish. It's pretty Trump-a-rooney, don't you think? Let's keep going.
it's no different than the other side of the House. This is how the country's broken up. 42 seats in BC, 14 and 14.
I'm pretty sure this is incorrect and outdated because I have different numbers, but again, this is something you would have to go investigate, right? This is just a one-sided story. And look at how he's pulling on our heartstrings. Representative democracy, right? We're all fighting for democracy. I don't think we have the same agreement on what democracy is because he thinks his little minority of people in Alberta should fucking run the country or something, right? Like, is that democracy? You getting to run away? Is that democracy? Like, come on. Let's keep going.
Makes 28. That's 70. Add 34 Alberta seats. That doesn't even add up to what Ontario has. Supreme Court justices, 2 for all of Western Canada.
He does realize that there's way more people, right, in Ontario to represent. Anyways, again, all things we would dig for further, right? And this chart too, 2, 3, 3, 1. Like, how much more do you want? You want a third? Like, give me a fucking break. You're just whining over like pennies on a dollar over here. You know what I mean?
3 for Ontario, 3 for Quebec, 1 for the Maritimes. And equalization payments, how does that work?
How does that work? Why don't you explain that before you get everybody mad about it? So again, you would go and figure out how equalization payments work. And the way I look at it, Alberta should be really grateful they don't get any equalization payments. It means you don't need the equalization payments. It means you don't need any subsidiaries. It means that you guys are doing just fine. You understand what equalization is, right? If you don't like it, like you don't like our country, so why don't you just leave? Anyways, let's keep going. Let's keep going.
Well, I'll tell you how it works. Quebec doesn't put Hydro-Quebec in their balance sheets. So Alberta,
Okay, but they also provide Quebecers with a lot lower electricity rates, and they are also a completely different, distinct society. When they came, they established that, right? So, like, just let's remember the history of Quebec is way different than the history of Alberta, and thus doesn't really compare. You're comparing like apples and oranges. Like, yes, it's fruit, but it's very different.
puts our oil patch in their balance sheet, and Quebec becomes a have-not province as a consequence of that, and we end up paying them a whole bunch of money. And $13.3 billion, and it's year after year. But here's a slide that I really want you to pay attention to. Those numbers are equalization payments per taxpayer.
Per taxpayer. I didn't get any money when I was in Ontario. I didn't, like it's not per taxpayer. It's if that taxpayer is suffering and can't meet their bills or is disabled or can't work or. It's like they have fallen victim to the system and they can't keep up. So we help them so they don't get further and further behind and then end up on the streets. You know what I mean? Like These people are not going to end up on the street. They have lots of money in their pocket. They can afford $1,000 to go sit somewhere and listen to some dude. You know what I mean? So, like, what is happening here? I mean, then again, the target audience is obviously people who are already on their side, but the YouTube video target audience is for those of us who don't know better and the people that they're trying to convince to come over to their side, right? So again, keep all of this in mind. You always got to be critically thinking. You always got to be questioning, and it doesn't matter who it's coming from, okay? Like it just doesn't matter. All right, let's keep going.
Look at the number in New Brunswick, $6,500 per taxpayer. In PEI, $6,100 per taxpayer. So I want you to understand something.
I mean, he literally makes it sound like we're all getting that kind of money if you live in New Brunswick, or you're all getting that kind of money if you live in Nova Scotia. And like, have you been to those provinces? It's sparse, it's hard. What do you want them to do? Like, they're trying to build the economy, they're trying to survive. Like, just stop with your one-sided stories. Give the whole story, or don't give it at all, because all you're doing is making people argue, right? Anyways, let's keep going.
They are buying votes with our money.
Buying votes? I mean, isn't that slanderous to say that? That would be my question. I would be looking up whether or not this is slanderous. I can't even stop, you see? So much thinking to do when these idiots are talking.
That's exactly what they're doing.
See, they don't even believe it. They barely clapped.
We get $47 billion a year to Ottawa every single year.
He should compare how much every other province gives. Everybody gives 5%. Everybody.
$40,000 per Alberta household.
I don't think you can calculate per household. We all make different money. We all spend differently. We all pay different taxes. We all make different money. So this is not accurate, right? This is, and I'm sorry, X.com. Don't we know that that's not a valuable resource? That's not a source. You can't use that as a source. When did this guy go to high school? You know? Oh, yeah, right. The internet didn't exist back then. Maybe these people need internet lessons. Anyways, okay, let's keep going.
And the pension, let's go there. So first thing I want you to understand is you will not lose your pension. You will remain a Canadian.
Oh, so now we're jumping to like people's insecurities. So we went from getting them really mad and angered and like putting them together by being like, look at this, bah, 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 bah. And now we're saying, oh, okay, if you're scared, don't worry, we're going to address that too. So here come the fears. Okay. I'm sure this is another like misinformation, but let's see.
Canadian citizen
Oh, actually, Fraser Institute. Okay, that's not too bad. Wow.
free and independent Alberta. Second thing I want you to see is who's paying the bill. Look at that big red line at the bottom left.
I see how he's pitching this now. Alberta pays the bill. The oil's not just yours, bro. Like, hello? Oh boy.
That's what Alberta pays. BC pays 8.9 billion. Everybody else is a net taker. You understand this?
So luckily for you, we have a couple provinces that make some money. Like, hello. Luckily for you, what was most developed was the oil business. Luckily for you, like, you realize that you just happen to be in the right spot of Canada, right? Like, why are you making it sound so bad? Like Canada's against Alberta. That's like having a family and like one brother's successful, so you shit on him for it and be like, you know, look at that fucker. He went and made all this money and now he hates us all. Like it just makes no sense what you're doing.
Alberta seniors collect $6 billion a year. Our taxpayers pay $9 billion a year to the CPP.
And sorry, I know I'm getting like annoyed and passionate and I shouldn't. I got to keep a really like objective point of view, but it's really hard not to get angered when you know that somebody's just blatantly manipulating information. Like I can see all the persuasive techniques that are being used. So it just riles me up a little bit. I'll try to calm it down a bit.
We have a $3 billion a year overage. That $3 billion, according to the CPP Act, is supposed to go into a fund for Alberta seniors. And that's since the 60s. And that's a rule that Ontario put in because it didn't want to pay more than its share. So what happened? We, according to the CPP Act, could call back our over contribution plus interest anytime the Premier chooses to do that. So I'm asked the question, why hasn't she done it? That number.
Why would you want to start issues when you're fine? Like, I don't understand why we're pretending there's any issues other than the premier not taking care of her province and taking care of separatists instead. Ay, ay, ay. Let's keep going. Are we ever going to get through? I'd love to hear what you think, by the way. Go ahead and share your comments in the bottom there and like and subscribe and all that jazz. And yeah, let's critically think together, shall we?
That Ottawa owes us today is $400 billion. Now, once you've unpacked
Hell, if somebody told me they owed me $400 billion, I'd be chasing it too. But again, one-sided stories.
that a little bit, just understand this. CPP is claiming to get 9.5%, so we'll round it off 10% interest. So just the interest on that money is $40 billion a year, plus a $9 billion contribution. Our seniors collect $6. We've got a $43 billion net on that. We can afford to give our seniors a six-fold increase in pay and not touch a principal.
And all we got to do is screw over the rest of Canada. Or try to. Like, hello?
This is one of the town halls that I hosted with the Premier, and she said something that I remember, and it was the way she said it. It was more the way she said it than anything else. When I became Premier, I thought I would fix everything in 6 or 7 months, but everything is broken. At her level.
Do you think she's fixing it, or do you think she's making it worse? Let me know. Let me know your thoughts. I obviously think she's making it worse. I obviously think she doesn't have a backbone. I think a lot of bad things about her, but I also feel bad. Anyways, let's keep going.
That means everything's too corrupt to fix.
Too corrupt to fix. I'm sorry, but doesn't that sound like projection more than anything else?
Look what Mr. Carney's given us. All the major projects Ottawa's announced. You see anything in Alberta? Absolutely not. But
why? Why isn't Alberta getting anything? Because all they want to do is oil pipelines. And we know that right now that is not doable without it being safe for the country, safe for the environment. So again, we're not just trying to chase dollars in Canada, remember? We're trying to make sure that the planet is sustainable, that the people can live here for as long as humanly possible. Like, we're not trying to run the planet as a business. We know better now. Okay, let's keep going. Here we go.
The RCMP are aware of 4,000 organized crime groups operating within Canada. 4,000 organized crime groups. It's because we have no racketeering and no money laundering laws here. And look at.
I don't think that's true. I would definitely have to look into that. Maybe there's 4,000 organized crime groups, but like, how many people are in those organized crime? Where did this stat come from? I guess our government is only capable of hunting down those who donated $5 to the Freedom Convoy. Oh, now we get a little bit more insight of who these people are. So they are the Freedom Convoy, and they are mad because their bank accounts were frozen by the Trudeau government because they were basically stopping the Canadian economy to get what they want the way they want it. I'm sorry, but that to me sounds like a tantrum, and it should have been stopped because how is that not like terrorism at some point? You know what I mean? Like, if you want to talk labels and shit, like, let's talk about what your freedom was really standing for. Okay, let's keep going because the one-sided stories just frustrate me, and you can hear it in my voice now.
No racketeering and no money laundering laws here. And look at the crime has risen in Canada in the past 10 years. Look at the.
Okay, crime is always going to rise because people are going to rise, like population rises. And also, where does this come from? What are the stats? I want to know. It's from Stats Canada, so that's good. But again, who is getting arrested? Who is getting whatever, all of these, there's so much more details that are still missing. However, yeah, okay, crime is going up. Maybe that's also a good thing. Maybe that means police officers are doing their job. Who knows, right? We also have how many, like 500,000 people who came into our country. We also have people having births every single year. So, like, population grows, crime is going to grow. Post-COVID has been super hard, right? People are desperate, people are starving, people are going and doing things they don't want to be doing, but then you want to take all the money out of our country and stop sharing it? Hello, those people will stop doing crime if they don't have to do crime, you know what I mean? And like your child abuse and your human trafficking and your extortion and your child pornography, let's lead back to where that stems from, shall we? And let's maybe deal with that culture of violence, culture of anger, of power, everything that you're kind of doing and promoting in your own convention right now. Isn't that interesting? Isn't it interesting when you just think a little bit? Okay, let's keep going.
Bottom three: human trafficking, extortion, child pornography. That's all. That's all organized crime type stuff. Let's look at what the Liberals have done to us in the last 10 years. Just in case you're feeling bad about this. Understand that Alberta.
Notice how they dump all liberals together too, which now makes sense as to why I always get called a libtard or whatever online, because they really are taking away the humanity of people, right? They're just like, you are in a group and I have already labeled you and I have stereotyped you and you are the bad guy and that's enough, which is crazy, but it is what it is. So let's keep going. And sorry, I have to blow my nose.
Is one of the richest pieces of real estate in the world, if not the richest. We would easily be one of the richest countries in the world right off the bat. We have trillions of dollars in resources.
So they just want to be rich for themselves, selfishly. They're obviously not going to share. They don't want to share. So why would they share with the people who stayed in Alberta? I mean, if I stay and I disagree with them, they're not going to give me money. So, like, they're basically arguing for what they would do to themselves. Like, it's so dumb. They're just projecting, right? That's why they're so, like, culty and senile in their friggin' video. Okay, sorry. Now I'm really getting biased. I'm not even critically thinking anymore. Let's go back. Let's go back.
And what we have, more importantly, is a group of people that understand how to work, understand how to produce. We're producers, we're business people, and what we fervently wish is.
And what? The rest of us aren't? But what they're doing here is they're trying to say, listen, we're experts. We're experts and we know what we're doing. They're trying to get that buy-in.
For Ottawa to get the heck out of our, and stay in their lane and get out of our road so we can make Alberta as prosperous as we could be.
I'm sorry, do you know the lanes? Provincial and then federal. I mean, there's a reason the way Canada is the way it is, right? Because people like you want to have all the power. They want to become little Trumperoonies, and they think that like the whole country should be run by the rich and famous and powerful and loud and like greedy, gross, selfish groups. I don't even know. It makes no sense to me. Like, where is your humanity, sir? And that's why I always say it's kind of culty feeling, because there's no humanity. Like, there's actually no humanity. It's just dollars, 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 dollars. Okay, let's keep going.
Now, here's what I consider to be the major problem of why we cannot negotiate with Ottawa. I was asked several times today, even, I did a couple CBC interviews. I said, what do you think of an independent Alberta within Canada? Yeah, they're talking to me now. An independent Alberta within Canada. Well, I said, it's not possible. And they said, why is that? I says, because you can't negotiate with criminals.
I'm sorry, did they take the exact script that you would give to Trump and then try to push it on the liberals? Because one, that's ridiculous, and two, is it just projection? Because you're the one in cahoots with Trump-a-rooney, right? So you're literally trying to convince us that they are doing what you're doing, but they're not. Whew, okay, interesting, man. These people. And drinking that orange Kool-Aid.
So when plunder becomes a way of life for a group of men in a society over the course of time, they create for themselves a legal system that authorizes it and a moral code that glorifies it. An audit of $187 billion worth of liberal infrastructure spending finds 20,000 missing projects. Now let's unpack that for a minute.
Let's unpack that. How many do you think there would be if somebody like this guy or the conservatives, those who have been lying to us? How many would there be if there was 20,000 for the liberals? Imagine how many there would be if these corrupt fuckers were in charge. Come on. Okay, let's keep going. Oh.
That's what that means. What that means is those projects were paid for, but they don't exist. Right? They paid for 20,000 projects out of a $187 billion budget, but those projects were never built.
Also, I want to know who this news is. I want to know the paperwork because when you go to the government of Canada, like most things are pretty transparent. So I'm sure it just takes a little bit of digging. Like Rachel Gilmore, any news on that? Because, yeah, really, this makes, I mean, I take it as with a grain of salt. And again, this was 5 years ago, so there must be some more updated information from this and better proof and more sources. Like, why would you only show this?
Mr. Gilbo siphoned $254 million into his account. Arrived.
But that's not a whole group. That's one person. Humans are humans. That's why we need to teach integrity, not dog eat dog life. And that's why we don't take all our money and run away and say F the world. No, we make things better where they are. We water the grass where we live. We don't piss on it and call it rain. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, let's keep going. Gosh, we're not even a third of the way through.
Can. Let's talk about ArriveCan. What did they do? They went to court. They lost. So the judge sealed it for 75 years.
When the doors closed.
Okay, I don't really know what happened with the ArriveCan, but I can agree that that was garbage and should have never happened. But like again, people make mistakes. Not everybody is perfect. So if this was all under Trudeau, we're not under Trudeau anymore, and the Liberals are different. Carney is not Trudeau. So how does this still be like, how is it still relevant? You know what I mean? Okay, sorry, I guess we got to go through this commercial.
Last time people went nuts. By popular demand, we are opening.
Okay.
Mr. Trudeau, $400 million green fund, 250 scandal where he didn't account for the money. $250 million spent on a vaccine factory that never built a vaccine. So we're already talking about $1 billion worth of theft here that we can see very clearly. And I just want to ask everybody in the room a question. Did we elect kings? How many people in the room think that the Liberal government is stealing from us? Hands up. So that's the problem.
The problem is that you're generalizing everybody who sees humanity over dollars as some sort of thief. And we're not, right? So the problem is not liberals. The problem is the system. And the system then needs more quality assurance, right? If somebody seems to be spending money that they're not supposed to be spending in that way, then we need more vigilance and more micromanagement. We don't need to be starting fights. You know what I mean? We need more transparency. We need more truth. We need to start opening all the curtains that you guys have been keeping closed forever.
Understand that it's happening. We know they're doing it. They know we know we're doing it. But then what are we going to do about it? So they sealed that for 75 years. So I'm going to ask you another question. Do you think they would do that if it was you that stole a whole bunch of money? Mr. Trudeau spent $11,000 million on overseas gender programs. $11,000 million. I want to ask you, how many of you think that there wasn't any money laundering that went on there? So let's just
How does he know so much about money laundering if he's not a money launderer? And also, again, what is the source of this? And if it is Trudeau, then let's go after Trudeau. Like, he's the one that abused his power. It's not the libs. This is a personal issue thing. This is like as if it was Trump doing shit, and then you get a new person because Trump is a fucking wacko. And then when the new person is trying to fix stuff, you're still blaming Trump. It's not the same person anymore. So, can we stop with this? What do you want us to do? Again, it's the system. So, why are you trying to break all of Canada? Why don't you just fix the fact that there's not quality assurance or fix the fact that we don't have enough truth and transparency?
Play this game. So you go to a foreign government and you say, you know what, I'm going to give you $1 billion for a gender program. Would you give me 900 million back? What do you think the odds are that would happen? I'm not sure that happened. I'm not going to pretend that I know that happened, but I think it did. And the one thing I want you to know about that is once that money leaves the country, how can they trace it?
Yeah, you know how he knows about money laundering? Because you know who's really good at this, actually? Trump-a-rooney and Danielle Smith's best friend. So let's be real. Sounds a little bit more like projection than anything else, because again, Carney hasn't done any of this. And Carney's an economist. And if you don't trust Carney, then maybe again you should get the system to get fixed where we have more, say it with me, transparency and truth. Okay, let's keep going.
Foreign interference is the greatest strategic threat facing Canada's national security, says CSIS.
The biggest security threat to Canada is China. We're heartened by the leadership of President Xi Jinping and the speed with which our relationship has progressed in recent months. And I believe the progress that we have made in the partnership sets us up well for the new world order.
Ooh, that was scary, right? Here's the thing. Did anybody ever dig into why we didn't trade with China? Why the US does everything with them? Like, I'm pretty sure that Carney already addressed all of this as well. So again, we're just getting a one-sided story here, but I'm pretty sure Carney addressed the fact that now that Trump is kind of wacko, we don't have a choice but to go explore other options. And now we don't have as much loyalty to him anymore because he's obviously not loyal to us. So just like any toxic relationship, you don't just stay in a toxic relationship. You go and figure out how to get out of it. And the thing is Trump is the only president, I mean, and Putin, I guess, who are hurting and bombs over Baghdad anywhere in the fucking world. So China's not doing that. Europe's not doing that. Canada's not doing that. Nobody else is doing it except for Trump. He takes his military, he goes and does whatever he wants, wherever he wants, and the rest of the planet is kind of sick of it now. Except for some of these people who want to still continue and think that they should be in control and that everything is about a dollar. And here's the thing, capitalism is about to collapse because we have worldwide information now. But don't worry, I'm sure the first world will continue to build on the second world and third world people. Anyways, let's keep going.
All right, election integrity.
Oh,
Mr. Carney, absolutely.
I'm so sorry, but anything by the sun is American. So it's fake news. Like, you can't trust an American's point of view on Canada. Sorry, not sorry.
He said that he agreed that we had a foreign interference problem. But
Foreign interference, yeah, probably Trump.
Mr. Trudeau found 11 federal candidates that China reportedly aided in our election. So does that mean that we have free and fair elections? And why didn't Mr. Trudeau have a look at it? He said he couldn't find anybody. I found one for him, Mary and G. See that look on her face? She's being asked right now what happened to the $130 million that her ministry had to create startups and jobs. And she didn't know where it went.
I tried everything.
Sorry, more commercials, but again, this is like one person. Go figure out why that one person didn't do their job properly. Don't blow up all of Canada.
Coffee,
Sorry, that's
Pomodoro,
more
and
commercial.
binaural beats, but nothing stuck until I tried this.
Sorry.
And she never went to jail. How is it possible that we can make a deal with these
I mean, is she a criminal or is she just somebody who did her job poorly? Like, let's investigate a little further, shall we?
people when they're absolutely criminal? And everybody knows it, including them. And this is where this all
Everyone knows it, including them. No, these people are innocent until proven in a fucking court of law. Hello, what is wrong with you and your one-sided stories? Oh my goodness.
started. In 2015, Mr. Trudeau said, there's no core identity, no mainstream in Canada. And consequently, that makes us the first post-national state. New World Order. That started in 2015. They've been
What? I missed that connection. That did not, like, they obviously are privy to some other information because that didn't make sense to me. And also, again, 10 years ago. 10 years ago. Buddy's gone. Buddy's been replaced. We've lived. We've learned. We're moving on. Like, why are you holding on to this like a fucking dog with a bone?
planning that ever since. There is nothing accidental about the path we're on. Not
What's the path we're on?
one thing accidental about the path we're on. Here's the ring that controls all the rings. In 1954, there was a statute in the Criminal Code of Canada that said it was illegal for the media to lie to the public. However, in 29, yeah, that's funny, right? But it never used to be that way. However, in 2019, Bill C-39 was voted on and passed in Parliament to remove it.
Who passed it? Who threw it up to the government to begin with? Is this true? I'd have to go look into C-39. So then there'd be a pause. We go look at that and go get some information and then critically think about what this guy is saying about C-39. Because they also tell me that like hate speech and stuff means that I can't read the Bible. So like what? Okay, let's keep going though.
So they can lie to you. So our government.
So they can lie to you? Oh God, I really do want to go look this up, but I'm gonna write it down and I'll look it up later.
Passed a bill that made it legal for them to lie to you.
Why would they be fighting for a bill to not have you lie now then? Have you heard of politicalhonesty.ca? Anyways.
One. Step two. Mr. Trudeau said the very concept of a nation founded by European settlers is offensive to me. He's offended by us. Old stock white Canadians are an unpleasant relic and quite frankly replaceable. And we will replace them. So let's just be very clear here.
Okay, I can see how this one could sting, obviously, for sure. But I'm sure it's taken out of context, right? So where's the whole paragraph before, after? Where's the whole speech? So the concept of a nation founded by European settlers is offensive to me. As in, like, we're not thinking about truth and reconciliation, maybe. As in, we're not thinking about the indigenous people that we walked all over when we got here, that we manipulated and took advantage of, kind of like what you're doing right now to these people and the people that you want and are trying to convince. So again, I want to see the whole speech. I want to see old sock white Canadians are unpleasant relic. You know who they're talking about? Yeah, you, because you don't want to treat other Canadians the same. You think Alberta's better. You think you're better. You think because you have money in your pocket, you're better. And Justin Trudeau didn't stand by that. And a lot of Canadians don't stand by that. So again, this fucking taking shit out of context and just pushing one-sided stories, like, no wonder the conservatives hate everybody. You're making them hate everybody. Okay, let's keep going.
I'm not mad at the immigrants. They came here for what they thought we had growing up. I can't be angry with them. That is not their problem. The problem here
Facts. And I relate to that too, being gone for 10 years and then coming back and being like, holy moly, what is happening here? I thought Canada was peaceful and everybody got along. But really, the only person stirring the pot that I can see is conservatives. It's Pierre Poilievre, it's Danielle Smith, it's fucking Mitch Sylvester, it's Jeff Rath. There's like four big, loud ass bullies who have way too much money in their pocket and can't stop having a tantrum. Like, at what point are you just going to listen to the country? Like, at what point do you realize that you're the problem and not Canada or not us, not other people? Like, when are you going to look within? Okay, let's keep going.
The problem here is uncontrolled immigration. And what did he do? Look at the graph. 2015, when Mr. Harper was in power, 15 million immigrants have come into Canada since 2015. We have a population of 44 million. 15 million new people since then. It's like having to put build an Edmonton, the infrastructure of an Edmonton every year to keep up with that. It's absolutely not sustainable. 1.94 million temporary resident applications this year. And I'm going to ask you a question really about national security.
I mean, I would like to make sure and verify these numbers too. I do agree that there was a floodgate opened of immigrants. I'm sure there's also a reason and a calculation and a rationale behind that. So, I mean, obviously, I can't ask Justin Trudeau. I'm sure he had his reasons when he did it, and I'm sure that's what he told everybody. So, I'm sorry I missed it. But yeah, I don't know. I think the way this is being spun is again just trying to really make people angry and stuff, right? Like we needed immigration because of what? Because we had jobs to fill, because schools, like I know that universities, for example, take tons of immigrants and so yeah, I don't know. There's lots here to still unpack, right? But I will give them the fact that there was a huge floodgate open and it did seem like way too many people came in all at once. And I think that maybe that was Trudeau's way of trying to build the economy, but didn't really think things through as well as he should have, right? And maybe everybody at that time, right? Because again, it's not just one person that makes the decision, right? Like Canada has to pass through a lot of people and a lot of discussion before we just decide to do things. So, okay, let's keep going.
If we're allowing 2 million immigrants into the country every year, would it be unreasonable to think that maybe 200,000 of them could be foreign soldiers?
I'm sorry, what? Foreign soldiers? What? Let's watch this commercial.
When it came time to take things to the next level, I knew that I had to make a website. And Wix.
Why?
I'm just asking you.
Why would we assume that? Why would we assume the worst? Why don't we assume the best? What if they're all academics and people with really deep pockets who were successful in their country and so now they get to leave and come to ours?
Would that be unreasonable to think that?
Yes, yes, it would be.
So why would our government do that to us?
Why would our government do that to us? They're not doing anything to you. They are trying to run the country as best as they can. Like, who gets into politics to shit on other people other than you guys, apparently? Okay, let's keep going.
Peter Sullivan, who used to work for the UN, he said this: we must use migration to turn the English people into a minority in England. This will allow us to undermine the identity of the native English and import a new majority that will end the very idea of England. This is critical for globalism to take a hold of England. Ladies,
You know what this is, right? This is them trying to stop assholes like that over there. People who just won't listen, who are stuck in this fixed mindset and won't let it go. Like, wow, buddy. Wow. Okay, let's keep going. This is just getting worse and worse by the minute for me.
and gentlemen, that is what's happening here. Very clearly. And if you think it's an accident, the UN has a paper called Replacement Migration. There it is. Canada, step 3 now. Immigration, control the media. Step 3, Canada has 33 taxes. The high
Control the media. That's what he's trying to do. Yep. Okay, now let's go to this next gun. X.com again. Taxes. I want to keep in mind we also have roads. We also have healthcare. We also have education. We also have roofs over our head, shelter, like social assistance. We have so many things in Canada. Running water, like electricity, cell phone towers. Like we just have so much. You can start your own business. You can get a loan. You can do so many things thanks to taxes. Okay, so let's just keep that in mind before this guy gives us a one-sided story again.
Best in the world. Hollow out the middle class. They're doing it on purpose, without a question. Here they are. Carbon tax, personal income tax.
Are they doing it on purpose? Why are they trying to help the people at the bottom then if they are doing it on purpose? Let's keep looking.
Income tax, GST, excise taxes on fuel, alcohol, tobacco, cannabis.
I mean, that's pretty minimalist of what he's saying of Trump over here. Sorry, I wasn't even listening to him actually talk because I was reading the poster. But yeah, again, we're minimizing how horrible Trump is compared to Trudeau. And again, Trudeau is not our leader anymore. So I don't understand how this has any value.
Travel security tax, luxury tax, provincial territorial tax, capital gains tax, land transfer tax, media tax, regulation tax, CPP tax, and business tax.
And notice how all these taxes are just on people who make enough money and don't even need any social services, right? They just don't want to share. Like, that's what it comes down to. They just don't want to share. Like, what? All right, let's keep going.
Exhausting just saying it. Can you imagine paying it? And we are. We pay it all the time. Step 4.
If you don't want to pay taxes, go live in a country that doesn't have taxes. Just go. Go on. Go to Saudi Arabia or go to fucking Dubai or go to the States. Why don't you go to the States? They got lower taxes, right? And I mean, you love the way Trump runs things because you're using the same exact strategies that he does. So why don't you just move? Take all your money and move. Go start your own oil thing down there. They got oil down there too. So you, Trump, all the separatists, just go on down there. Boom, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. You could save us all the headache. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, let's keep going.
Inflation. Do you know that if we print double the money supply, it halves the value of the money? Right? So understand that your money, if you had $100,000 in the bank, and then they double the money supply, 5 years later, they double the money supplies, that money would only buy half of what it bought on day one.
You know why, right? Because you guys have like a stock market and shit, and you guys fuck the world by being rich and not sharing. Do you understand how like geopolitics work? Do you understand how economics work? Micro, macro, each country, and then at the global level, like it's so much more complex than what you're putting out here, brother. Okay, let's keep going.
And they understand that. They totally understand that. And not only that, they borrow all that money. We're paying $1 billion a week in interest on it. And what would you do if you're in business? If you borrowed money, you would want to pay it back. But what do? They sabotage our oil field. By far the biggest industry in the country. So how are you supposed to pay that debt back if they carbon cap you?
How are they sabotaging? Because they're taking a little bit more tax money off of you because you make so much fucking money anyways. How much more money do you need? How much more? When will enough be enough?
Eliminate jobs.
They're trying to get you to stop destroying the planet for a fucking dollar. Don't you get it? No, actually, obviously you don't get it. That's why you're hosting this and that's why you exist. Yeah, okay, keep going. Let's go.
Eliminate business opportunity. And they're doing it on purpose.
Yep, they're doing it on purpose to save the planet. They're not out to get you. Go get therapy. Okay, let's keep going.
They don't like us.
They don't like your greed.
Energy to West Coast. You say we're landlocked. We're not landlocked. We're policy locked. They bring tankers full of oil down to St. Lawrence every day. But yet we can't put a tanker on the West Coast. We could change that in the free and independent Alberta. We could change those rules.
I'm sorry. The St. Lawrence, that reaches Ontario. That reaches Quebec. What? What part of the river on the West Coast or what part of anything do you think is going to reach Alberta? The entitlement is mind-blowing, honestly. All right, sorry, let's watch this commercial. Also, I use Quest Trade and I invest all my own money. You probably should learn it. I watched the Canadian t-shirt guy on YouTube and learned all my stuff from him and can't complain. I make more money than the bank makes me. Anyways, let's keep going.
Volatility doesn't wait. Stay ahead of the market with options trading at Questrade. Limit your risk or increase your upside by building multi-leg trade, so you can find your winning strategy. Switch to Questrade, get 1 month of free options.
I have a challenge for you. I want to know if you'd like to write a book, your own book.
Okay, I might cut those out right now. We'll see. We'll see. I kind of just want to watch and post.
And the carbon tax. The carbon tax has cost Canadians billions over 5 years, hurting the economy while reducing CO2 emissions by 11.9 gigatons.
Sadly, again, this is like a one-sided story. We are all working across the planet to try to stop carbon emissions and stuff. You know that in China, they actually have so much solar power that they're kind of coming out at zero with their coal, and that's how it's balancing out. Like, that's what's happening here is they just want to take people's money instead of balancing out in other ways. And like, I don't know. There's more, again. It's always more complex and there's always more to it than just this one side, right? But yes, China emits all of this shit, but China also does everything they can to counteract it. So don't like negate that, you know what I mean? This is why we hate the windmills and we hate the solar systems and we hate all of this because it kills the birds and it's bad for the environment. I'm sorry, you think fucking digging up oil isn't? Hello, at least the wind will never stop. The oil will. Anyways, let's keep going. I just actually have to say one more thing. It wasn't until I came to Canada that I ever heard that we hated windmills and that we hate them because it affects nature and the birds. And I was like, oh, you're worried about nature and the birds, but you support oil. Okay. Right? So like, again, one-sided stories. Let's keep going. Critical thinking matters.
China emits 11.9 gigatons every day and a half. So we're shutting our entire oil industry down based on this lie. Because I want to ask you a question, even if it was legit. We sell them coal. The coal comes right from here. Leaves the point of Vancouver and goes straight to China. And that CO2, unless I'm mistaken, doesn't just sit over China. It would blow all over the place.
Facts. And in fact, when I had first moved to China, there was a hole starting or something in the atmosphere, and they were actually like being told that they had to do better. And so thus they have done better since. And apparently that hole is now closing. So you should also go research that. Okay, let's keep going.
What's happening is the government is using this to do all of the other stuff. The globalists would like to keep our industries in the ground where they can see them in a nice, safe place, because this is a nice, safe country. But they don't want you to benefit from them. They want to benefit from them.
Yeah, they want to benefit as in like they want to put it into what? What are they putting it into? Because most of us like the fact that Canada has roads and hospitals and schools and healthcare and, you know, all the stuff we have in Canada, running water, electricity, no power outages. We love that stuff. We really do. I would keep giving my 5% just to keep getting that.
None of the biggest CO2 producing nations in the world pay carbon tax. Just us. Carbon tax.
They do their own thing however they want to do it. Like, hello, do you want to build fucking a bunch of windmills and a bunch of solar systems and then we can just stop pushing oil? Hello? Like, the thing is you don't want to sacrifice for the greater good. So if you don't want to sacrifice for the greater good, you're never going to agree to disagree. Okay, let's keep going. China doesn't need a carbon tax. You know why? Because China's over there doing better. Because when they learn something, they get better, not worse. Okay, let's keep going.
Revenue, there you go. Do you see the big countries in there? You see the USSR, you see the USA, you see China, Do you see Pakistan? Do you see India on that? No.
Because they're dirt poor and don't have the money to begin with. Oh God, buddy, you need to like get away from just North America and your North American views because boy, oh boy, you really are an ignorant Trumparoonie. Okay, let's keep going.
And Danielle just signed this MOU with them.
Danielle, that's pretty informal, isn't it? Like they're all just buddy buddies. Okay, anyways, let's keep going.
And Carney's celebrating a six-fold increase in carbon tax. I'll ask you a question, and that was supposed to be a win. How can increasing carbon tax by six-fold help the people of Alberta? It's going to cost us $6 to $10 a barrel more to produce our oil.
How much do they make? How much do they make? Enough. You already make enough. Like, you just need more, 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 more. When will you see more, 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 more is not the way anymore? Okay, let's keep going.
Make us non-competitive. And to top that off, they build pathways. You know what pathways is? That's all part of this MOU. Pathways is a carbon-sucking machine that will take CO2 and turn it into liquid and inject it into the ground. And then it's poisonous. It might increase oil flow, but if we haven't got a carbon problem, why should Alberta taxpayers spend $50 billion on pathways?
I want to see where these numbers are coming from.
Addition to everything else they're doing. So they're putting us out of work, they're creating more money, making
Out of work. People are coming here to work. What are you talking about?
life harder for all of you.
He's just mad that they're capped at the destruction amount of the planet that they're allowed to do. Like, I'm sorry that you can't just like keep funding your pockets more and more and more and more and more at the expense of everybody else on the planet, including the planet. I mean, am I missing something here? Please let me know in the comments if you're still here and you haven't fallen over yet. Okay, let's keep going.
And they're doing it on purpose. Carbon tax was ruled illegal in Alberta, but the aforementioned Supreme Court held it up. Went right.
What does that mean if the Supreme Court held it up? That means all these people agreed. You think it was just one prime minister that made the decision? Okay, let's keep going. No wonder everybody's so angry in this country. The idiocy.
To the top, we won. They said, no, you can't do that.
We have got to the point where literally anybody build a fully working app without knowing how to code. This is
Sorry.
And here's where the rubber meets the road. Norway, which started after us, they produce 2.1 million barrels of oil a day. Alberta produces 4.6 million barrels of oil a day. They have a $1.95 trillion oil fund, and we're $100 billion in debt. How's that work?
I'm pretty sure they have a whole different culture and a way of life over there. Is their education free too, by chance? I would look that up. But yeah, be interesting to look into, eh? How does Norway run? What do the politics look like over there? I would like to compare. Either way, you're talking about a country as opposed to a province. So again, very different. You're comparing apples and oranges, which just doesn't really make sense, but I get the point you're trying to make. Good persuasive technique. Let's keep going.
Do you actually think that if we were negotiating our own deals, building our own pipelines, because we could negotiate with BC, you know, because BC sends 70% or 80% of its trade from those ports right through Alberta. We could tariff them day one.
Tariffs on your neighbor. Again, doesn't that sound a little Trumparoonie to you? You realize we're not the USA, right? If you want to live in the USA, fucking go down there.
And then they would have to play nice. Now just imagine the difference it would make in our lives if we had a $2 trillion US oil fund that comes to about $340,000 US per citizen. Now, all of our trade goes south. People say you're landlocked. Well, we're already landlocked. And 88% of our trade goes south.
Interesting that you got all this oil deal with the good old US of A. Tell me you and Trump aren't in cahoots. Tell me Trump and Danielle Smith aren't in cahoots. Tell me you didn't just show your whole poker hand. All right, let's keep going.
And not only do they attack our oil patch, they attack our farms.
Attack your farms? I'm pretty sure Carney just made you a deal with the canola and shit, right? With China, right? Do you know that fucking China eats canola oil like it's coming out their ass? They will put an entire ladle up in your fucking bowl of rice. So, I think Carney did a good job there. Let's keep going.
Emergency.
I understand there's more farmers than just the canola people, but what I'm saying is this guy's shit is exactly that, just shit. Like Sylvester, one-sided stories everywhere. All you want to do is piss on us and call it rain.
They said that they will be able to come to your farm and seize your land and your herd. And that's a law, 293.
Yeah, okay, but why? What happened? Why would they're not just coming for no reason? Stop making it sound that way.
And what just happened to the ostriches? Those are dead ostriches in that picture over there. They seized that herd.
I mean, was it infected? If it's infected, it's infected. It's dead. What did you want to do? You wanted to sell it instead and risk? Like, come on. I don't understand. They weren't healthy, right?
COVID was a mess.
COVID
is what got me involved in politics. Never was involved with politics before. So our government put out a paper.
I really think that had a lot to do with the Trump bullshit more than anything else, though. American influence more than anything else. There was something weird and corrupt for sure. I don't know what, but for sure. It was definitely a way to try to oppress everybody, get everybody as scared as possible. It was a way to see who could be controlled, who couldn't be controlled. Like, there was way more to this than we will ever know. But then let's just admit that. Let's admit there's some sort of corruption, but that's because humans are fallible, right? And that's because we are not doing what is necessary to ensure that every human keeps their integrity. This is a cultural issue. And a culture like this that Sylvester is starting will never get us there either. So let's be real. He is just continuing the cycle. Okay, let's keep going.
Alberta's COVID-19 pandemic response. And I'm just asking you, to this day, the leading cause of death in Alberta for the last several years was unknown causes. I'm going to share with you that there is no such thing as unknown causes. And
because he's a doctor now?
We got this study done, but it never went anywhere.
Because who did the study? And what did it prove? And how biased was it?
Why is that? Government minister admits.
Yeah, why is that? Why don't you dig a little further and figure out why?
That COVID restrictions are all about political power and control. So that's what it was all about.
This is one guy's opinion, thanks to all those citizen freedom convoys who had the courage to mobilize against these tyrannical policies. Oh, this is like probably another Danielle Smith at the time, right? So like, yeah, trust that with a grain of salt. Sorry, not sorry. I mean, listen, when I was in China and heard about the freedom convoy, it did sound like they were standing up for Canadian rights and shit. But then when I really found out what they were doing, I was like, oh, they're just mad that they're not getting their own way. Like, no, you guys took it too far is the problem. You took it too far and you're still taking it too far because you're fucking cult or something. Like you just drink too much Trumparoonie juice or something. Okay, anyways, let's keep going.
Oh, digital ID. They're talking about digital ID. Bring it here. If they have digital ID and digital currency, that's going to trap us.
This is your brain when you're struggling to focus. And
I think I understood that part. Oh, and sorry about the commercials.
Bill CH, you will be kicked off the internet and you will have no recourse.
I mean, I want to go check out Bill C8 because, again, they also told me the other day that C2 and C3 and all of this is all against them, but I didn't know what this is. Some part of it. I'd have to go look it up. Bill C8. Kicked off the internet. Okay, let's keep going. I mean, we would make a note of that and we'd go back. So now we're at C39, C8.
RP said, C8, C9 come through, we will no longer be free people. Now, here's the other thing. If you think this is nonsense, red flag with a gun grab is your neighbors will be able to squeal on you and they will go to your house and take your guns. Don't have to tell you who told on you. You will not have due process.
What is the problem? If you have your gun legally, you're not going to have any issues. Only if you have illegal guns would you have to have any issue. We've had guns in Canada forever for hunting reasons. Like, people have been hunting here forever. I don't understand. There's not a problem. We don't have a gun problem. Don't make a gun problem. We are not the USA. I mean, sure, they're coming in slowly because of gangs and stuff. You can't stop that. But, like, to make it sound like we have some sort of gun problem is ridiculous. We don't have a Second Amendment. Not everybody bears arms here. The only people bearing arms are hunters. And then maybe some, like, gangsters and bad guys. But again, then that's the problem. They need to go to jail. They don't need to, like, change the whole fucking country. Okay, anyways, let's keep going.
And you will have to go prove to them that you were not guilty. This is real. This is Canada. Listen to this. Bill C9. So I'm asking a question. Why is our government passing these kind of laws?
What's C9? I mean, come on, you're talking about a bunch of shit that, like, regular people are not gonna know off the fucking top of their head. So you are just, banking on their lack of information. So let me just see. Strengthens penalties for hate propaganda, promoting hatred via public display of symbols, criminalize obstructing access to religious or cultural sites. Yeah, okay, that doesn't sound bad to me. They're just mad that what? They're not going to be able to go around and shit on Canada anymore. Like, stop making us become the USA and you won't have to be told to stop. Like, these laws are being invented because you are doing wrong. You are doing bad. Don't you understand? We're making these rules because your behavior is incorrect. Like, it's sad that we have to make it clear that we're not the USA. We already know this, so why are you pushing us that way? Okay, let's keep going. And I'm just annoyed because I know in my head that, like, C2 or C3 is something about stopping hate speech as well. So for them to try to turn it around, like as if you're getting your freedoms taken away, is bullshit. Okay, anyways, let's keep going.
C9 is a very dangerous bill. It uses the concept of naming a group. A political entity, the Order in Council, names a group a hate group, pursuant to 83.01. From there, the members of the group are all guilty by virtue of possession of the symbol. Mark Miller, the Liberal, in debate, names the Bible and Torah as hate and states there is no legitimate religious defense.
One person does not have the power, so it doesn't matter. Like, again, we don't just take one person's point of view. And a hate group, you know what they're worried about? They're worried about Alberta Strong not being able to exist anymore. They're worried about their little Alberta Prosperity Project not being able to exist anymore because they go and hate on Canada. Like, they don't understand. They don't understand Canada. They don't understand our culture. They don't understand that we are not the USA. We are Turtle Island. We have indigenous connections. We have responsibilities to the land and the people that were here before us. We don't live like Americans. Stop pushing us to be American. Ay, 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 let's keep going.
It means the group is Christians or Jews, and because he said other religious texts, the Quran. This enables the government to target the religious individuals as part of the group. This is exceptionally evil, broad, and typical only of communist countries.
Okay, I'm so sorry. I'm so incredibly flabbergasted at how he flipped that. So if you're an immigrant, immediately you're fucking scared. You're like, oh my God, they're taking away my religion, they're taking away my rights. You have no idea what's going on. This is so mean. This is so mean because this starts a game of telephone for immigrants that scares the shit out of them. And you know people don't have time to do the research like I do and other people. Like, it's not fair. That's so mean. That's such a low blow, buddy. Such a low blow. Okay, let's keep going. Wow. Wow. Shame on you. Ugh. Ugh. Okay.
So I want to read you this part, which I find is really interested in why I have the other slide. There is an unlimited forfeiture clause. Is it your house, your bank account? Is it your life? You are the person by which the means of the offense was committed. This clause, ever written, is this is what happens next. It says, it may, in addition to other punishment imposed, be ordered by the presiding provincial court judge or judge to be forfeited to his majesty in right of the province in which that person is convicted or disposal, as the Attorney General may direct. What's that all about?
Fair. I would question that too and maybe work on the language.
This is Canada. And here we go. They're coming for our guns.
This is ridiculous. Nobody's coming for anybody's guns unless you have illegal guns.
It will be over in October. I explained to the Premier. I said to the Premier, at the end of it, so they're going to...
The fear-mongering right now, like as if us liberals or NDPs are human people who actually care about humanity would go and kill other people. The only people who are doing that are the Trumperoonies.
Stop paying you for them in March. And then they're going to come for them in October. But if you don't give them up, you're going to become a criminal on that day.
Yeah, if you have an illegal gun, you're a criminal. What's the matter with you? Why are you pushing some sort of weird narrative? I have friends who have guns and they're not worried one little bit because they have it legally. I don't, like, what the fuck, bro? What the hell are you talking about?
Our Premier says, oh no, we're not going to let them come to your house. We're going to tell the RCMP they can't enforce that. But what if you leave Alberta?
One oil for all your choices. Organic virgin coconut oil from Parachute Naturals. 100% pure, derived from natural coconuts. It helps build immunity and improves cognitive function. Perfect for every lifestyle.
This is how I'd learn AI in 2026 if I wanted a fresh start at 50. Watch this.
Don't do it. Okay,
So if you leave Alberta, they'll make you a criminal on day one. Okay, not even if you leave Alberta, they will know that you have these guns, the restricted guns, they're going to make you a criminal.
I'm sorry, what is he talking about? Why would Albertans have guns and like different rules than the rest of Canada? What's happening here? He wants the Second Amendment? I mean, he's missing a whole chunk of information here. Also, the comparison. Switzerland, way different. You know, they've been neutral since the beginning, right? Their whole culture is like not even close to angry and scary and this and that. Like, yes, they are trained in case they have to use a gun and become part of the army, but they're not angry psychopaths like this guy over here, you know, who's like misleading everybody with information and being all culty and shit. So again, you're comparing apples to oranges and giving one side of the story. Like, have you been to Switzerland? That's like, have you been to China? In China too, everybody, like, they don't own guns, but they all go through military training, but they're not fucking crazy jarheads. Anyways, okay, let's keep going.
Then the next thing they can do is you can't have a pal and be a criminal. So they're going to take your pal away. At that point,
you can't be a pal and be a criminal. I don't know what a pal is, but like it sounds like someone to do with guns. And if you've been a criminal, why should you get a gun? You're not trustworthy. You did something to lose the trust of your country. That's that. Too bad. Don't fucking do it. Don't lose the trust. Be a good person. Have integrity. You won't have to fucking worry about losing your gun. Hello, what do you need a gun for anyways? Look what happens in America when we give people guns. You get fucking ice and bullshit. Fuck that shit. Whew, let's keep going.
Then they're absolutely able to go to your house and get all of your guns, even your non-restricted ones. And there's a 3-year jail penalty for that.
They wouldn't. They wouldn't waste money
And we've
on
asked
a
them
non-restricted
repeatedly,
gun.
why do we not have Alberta gun laws?
We don't have gun problems in Canada. We're gonna need gun laws, obviously, since you guys want to bring them in and shit. Like, we only ever needed them for hunting. We don't need them for personal use. That's not our way. Gross. Is that what you want? Ew. Are they just trying to push gun laws over here so we can have them? The gun laws, we don't have them. You use them for hunting. That's it. We don't fucking hunt each other.
But they don't seem to want to do it. This is a 3-year battle. We've been fighting this battle for 3 years with them.
Battle of 3 years for what? To have a gun? You just want to hold a gun? You want to walk around with a gun? What the hell? What's your problem? Oh, let's keep going.
We need an Alberta gun license. They don't want to do it.
We don't. We don't need that.
So,
Why? Why would you
just in
need that?
case you didn't know,
Why?
guns don't kill people. People kill people. Honduras, with a population of 8.2 million people, bans guns.
You can't even.
Highest homicide rate in the world. Switzerland trains its 17, 18-year-olds to become soldiers and then sends them home with their automatic weapon. There's a fully automatic weapon in every house in Switzerland with a trained soldier that knows how to use it.
Yeah, and you know why? Because they're trying to protect themselves from people like you. That's why. Because the Trump-a-roonies of the world are real. However, we could just stop Trump-a-rooney. Hello, just stop Trump, duh, and stop you and people who think like him, because there's not very many left. That's what you don't understand. You are the minority of the fucking planet at this point. Problem is that the USA has a lot of military and a lot of money. And so they've been bombing and scaring everybody forever. And now you just want to jump on the fucking orange Kool-Aid band. Let's keep going.
And I think that's a great deal. And they have the lowest homicide rate in the world. So I just went over that.
I would love to be like Switzerland too. Let's get free education for everybody. Let's make sure everybody's fully aware of how everything works. No one-sided stories. Let's go. I would love that too. I bet you everybody in that damn room would change their mind. Let's keep going.
That was what the premier said, so let's go here. She said that if you don't want to get shot, don't break into anybody's house. But yet she's not standing up for us to get our guns taken back, and I wish she would.
Because you have what? People break into your house on the regular? We don't have that problem, so stop pretending we do.
But I'm going to give her some slack right now, so just
Like, we don't need guns in our houses. There's not people coming into our house. Like, you're ridiculous. Lock the fucking door. We're done. Conversation over. Quit trying to bring the Second Amendment over here. We're not American.
so you know. We're here because she changed Bill 14. And I have not lost the sight of that. However, this gun stuff is very concerning to me because she's going to make a criminal out of 350,000 Albertans in one crack if we don't.
That's not true. If you have your gun legally, you have no problem. Why are you making people scared?
Change that. So as good as this is, allow us to pursue this path that we're on, that has to be addressed. And a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed, and I fully believe that. All right, so.
There's a serious lack of education and critical thinking on this man. Okay, let's keep going.
So let's check out what's going on with our economy. We grew 1.4% in 10 years.
With 4 video calls to her son during the game and 3 highlight reels shared on her Mamacita's group.
There's absolutely no way that they can do that unless they try.
You realize that all those little countries at the top probably went from nothing to a bunch of something thanks to like China helping, thanks to first worlds helping. Like this, he realized the whole planet is kind of trying to come together a lot more than we used to. And seeing as we're already the first world, it's kind of hard for us to even make more and more and more and more, you know? We're kind of already at the top. So when you're already at the top, it's hard to go higher and higher and higher in these big jumps, like other places that are starting way at the bottom. It's kind of like when you first start losing weight, you know, and like you drop that first 10 pounds so easily, but like that last 10 pounds, almost impossible. Okay, kind of same idea here. Do you get it? Okay, let's keep going with the one-sided story.
They have to try to do that. There's no way that you can do that in this country with everything we have. We only grow our economy 1.4% in 10 years. And Mr. Trudeau, having done all that, gives the keys to Mr. Carney, the business genius. And $85 billion worth of investment left here because you know what? People are seeing it. They don't want to spend any money here because they don't see a business case for it.
I'm sorry, what are you talking about? Where does this study from? Where did this, like, more info for this to make any sense at all? Otherwise, you're just brainwashing people.
In his book, Mr. Carney says this: Western society is morally rotten, and that has been corrupted by capitalism, which has brought about a climate emergency. This, he claims, requires rigid controls on personal freedoms. More rigid.
I mean, he's not wrong about the capitalism part. I'm sure that some of this has been taken out of context. But like literally, buddy, exactly. We're in 2026. We care about the planet now. We care about the fact that we have been purging our poor planet of all its resources, and now we know better, and we know that if we stop purging it, that we could actually sustain and live longer. But instead, what we're doing is we're purging it, and we're just like going to hell in a fucking handbasket, and we're just speeding up the process. All of us see that, so why don't you? I mean, science has proven it. Indigenous people have been saying it since before the beginning of time. Like, oh God, it's so, so sad. Anybody with an education just like cannot follow what this guy is saying and believe him. Okay, let's keep going. We're almost done.
Controls on personal freedoms. C8, C9, he's showing us that.
Yeah, let's look C8 and C9 because again, okay, Combating Hate Act, that doesn't sound bad to me. And C8, respecting cybersecurity, strengthening the defense of critical infrastructure, banking, energy, transportation, communications against cyber threats. Again, those bills don't sound bad to me, so why are we hating on them? Why are we trying to make the Liberals look bad because they want to protect Canadians? Why are you trying to make it seem like the protection that we need from the Trumperoonies isn't protection that we need from Trumperoonies? Okay, let's keep going.
Assets will be stranded. What he ultimately wants is a technocratic dictatorship. So if we unpack that, the technocratic dictatorship is unelected big business running our country.
That's not true.
And we talked about carbon tax already. So what happened? Since the business genius got into business, our economy shrank another 0.3% in October.
I mean, he's been here for like a few months. Fucking chill, bro. Just chill. That's how things work. They go up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. I mean, my stocks have gone up 30%, drop 30%, up 30%, drop 30%. That's how it works. Quit instilling fear in people.
And what does he do? Pumps $33 billion into bureaucracy.
The bureaucracies that we need because you were complaining about the fact that people could do whatever they wanted and take advantage of the system. Hello, are you being a little bit of a hypocrite?
Again, another drain on us. These people do not produce any.
Oh, and now we're trying to shit on CBC because it's as neutral as it kind of can be as a Canadian news system. And now you're trying to make it seem like it's all corrupt. Interesting, very interesting.
Anything. They're totally conscious of what they're doing. They're consciously crippling.
They're conscious of what they're doing, but the thing that you don't realize is they're conscious of what you're doing too. Because your like culty persuasive garbage that you're doing right now has been happening in the USA since the beginning of colonization. And we in Canada have been trying to stop that since colonization. And I mean, we've been doing a poor job, obviously, and we have way too much American influence, obviously, and the need for truth and reconciliation is so obvious, especially by this convention right here. Okay, let's keep going.
Our economy and consciously hurting us. And he's got 103 ethics violations. Each one of those
ethics violations where? Who? When, like, who put them on them? And how many do you have? And how many does the UCP have? And how many does Pierre Poilievre have? Let's compare. Let's go. Come on. Let's not just show one side of the story. Okay, let's keep going.
Which is a crime. Every one of those he should be impeached for. Everyone.
Impeached. He just got into the office. How could he be impeached? What did he do while he was there? This was all before. So if we voted him in, we have voted him in. Like, okay, anyways, let's keep going. I mean, you could do your recall shit, right? I guess that's what kind of what you're doing. All right, anyways, oh my goodness. Let's keep going.
And I watched them flat out lie to a CBC reporter. CBC reporter asked him if he had any business conflicts. He said, no. Basically, read my lips. No, I don't have any. And since he's been in Prime Minister, there's been 42 contracts. All have been with.
Is this true? And I want to dig deeper. We would need to have all sides of the story for this. And if it is true, then yeah, it is a problem, right? Obviously.
Brookfield. Imagine. And Canada pledges $4.3 billion to the Ukraine at the G7. 2 days later, Brookfield gets a contract for $4.3 billion to rebuild the Ukraine.
That's a Canadian multinational company, right? So what is the problem? Why wouldn't we want to invest in Canada? I don't understand what this guy's problem is. And then, yeah, we have to support people on the planet. That's how it works. Like, you know, geopolitics, right?
True story. You can't even make that up.
Oh boy, this guy.
12,500 dead from MAID. We lead the world in assisted suicide. And
maybe we should let people decide if they want to live or not. 12,500 people dead from MAID, that means that's 12,500 people who are not suffering till the last moment of their death. It's their choice. They can choose to do what they want to do. I don't understand why you're fucking shitting on freedom when you want freedom. Oh, let's keep going.
what do? They take and sell the organs.
They take and sell the organs? Holy shit, that's how you're pitching that? Oh my goodness. Okay, I never even saw that coming. I should have listened to that all the way through and then reacted. It probably would have been even better. Oh my gosh. Hello. Come on, you guys. The liberals are not just trying to kill people just to sell organs. What the fuck are you putting out there? At some point, this is slanderous, no?
These are the people that we're dealing with.
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44.
I'm sorry, I'm shocked right now.
$93 billion on UBI. I'll let Jeff get into that.
Oh yeah, look, we just flew over UBI, but Jeff's gonna get into that. That means I'm gonna have some other video to do because this is crazy. Oh, look at this. This is a nice iceberg. You know what this should probably say is like whatever his group is, Alberta Prosperity Project or like Trumperoonies. The thing is if you were in any way academic at all, you would have seen the corruption a long time ago, and you would have seen that we've been fighting this corruption since the beginning of fucking God knows when. And trying to not be as bad as the US since God knows when. Okay, let's keep going.
So here's the problem. We don't have a CO2 problem. We've got a corruption problem.
We have both. And you're the corruption and the CO2 is real.
And there's no fixing this corruption problem.
There is. Oh, there's fixing it. There's definitely fixing it. It's called quality assurance programs. It's called micromanaging. There's all sorts of things. But what you don't do is blow up the country. Let's keep going.
So here's the path. I saw Jim at the Prairie Rising conference, and he came and he made a profound impact on me. His currency, his blood being currency, is something that really hit home with me. Because here we are.
This is the problem when you're guilty of something. You get stuck in this fucking loop of like, I'm a scammer, they're a scammer, they're a scammer, I'm a scammer, they're a scammer, we're all scamming each other. Quit this culture already. Goodness. Oh, let's keep going.
We have a path here, and our currency that we have to spend right now is our time. We don't have to get shot. We don't have to get shot at. We have to.
The only people be shooting anybody is the people in that fucking room. Let's be real. Let's keep going.
Spend our time and work really hard at this. Sign up to be a canvasser and talk to your neighbors. That's the way this gets done. So I want you to be absolutely crystal clear here. Everybody says to me, Mitch, what about the soft middle? The soft middle in Calgary, these people. Well, I'm going to share something with you. There's only two sides to this.
No, there's
either you're a globalist or
no.
you're with us. It's that simple.
No.
Everybody wants to play elbows up and use the hockey thing. And I played a little bit of hockey. I understand how that works. How it works is you have a bully running around the ice, intimidating your players. And your players, because they're being intimidated, lose all their fine motor skills. So what's...
Oh my God, the projection is real. This is his strategy. This is exactly what he's doing. He's just saying the quiet part out loud.
What's going to happen is they're going to come to you with all these fear-mongering things, and they're going to try to scare you and freeze you in one spot. It's going to take courage to get through this. So if you're in the hockey rink, and I can guarantee you I know about this, you decide if you're going to put up with that or you're going to stand up for your team and your teammates. So you go stand up beside that guy, and what do you say? Come on, let's go. And then you fight. Thank you very much.
Wow, 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 wow. Very interesting to watch. Sorry for all the like freaking out and ranting, but I think overall my summary from that is that the UCP wants Canada to be the USA. And they don't realize that we are Canadian. And they don't want to be Canadian, they want to be American. Okay, well, anyways, I hope that was fun, and I hope that that teaches you to like critically think and question, and like I'll do all sorts of different videos and stuff, but let me know what you thought, let me know if you want more, and yeah, throw some comments in the comment boxes and we can chit chat and have some fun. All right, ciao for now.